Hello, I'm Colleen Holder and this is Let's Talk Tobago. Today we're here at Fort Grandby, the second oldest fort in Tobago. It was built by the British in the 1760s to protect the island's first capital, which was known then as Georgetown. It was the major British fort, that is, until Fort King George was built. We'll show you more of the fort and the scenery it has to offer after we tell you what's happening in our stories this week. Making Tobago more investor-friendly. A chocolate made from cocoa grown on this island grabs a prestigious UK Food and Drinks Award. And we'll meet the people who represent Tobago at CARIFESTA.
Tobago, ready to provide your community with the highest degree of professional services in emergency response. Contact CERT Mariah at 660-0065 or CERT Speyside at 660-6096. CERT 24-hour services, emergencies, medical or other. CERT Pro, the new face of emergency management.
This is Let's Talk Tobago. Welcome back to Fort Grandby, a place that was abandoned in the 1790s. Today there's very little of the old fort left, but there's this, a grave site which is the final resting place of Soldier James Clark, who died on July 6, 1772. But let's leave it here for now to tell you what's being done to ensure the Tobago House of Assembly is never labelled a slumlord. With numerous developments and hundreds of houses across this island, it's nothing short of a mammoth task to keep on top of all the issues and ensure tenants and homeowners are happy. Now add to that mix the pressure of doing a door-to-door exercise. But that's exactly what's happening. The people in charge are leaving the comfort of their workplace to get an up-close and personal look at the problems facing the public housing sector.
Their job is to construct homes and improve the housing conditions for low and middle income families in Tobago to have a place they can call their own. But now they're doing more. The Department of Settlements is ensuring they manage the properties by getting out of their offices and moving into Roxborough, Adventure, Blenheim and Castara to hear the residents' issues. The team got started in Castara, moving on to Blenheim, where problems from land boundaries to drainage seem to be affecting the residents.
You see all them things here? When them people start to live up there, trust me, there'll be problems. There'll be problems. Because pipe hardly reach and just barely sticking. And next thing, the water from this house. I don't know about any drain system, but if I had it wash down, or the water from the house, you're going straight down in the middle of the road.
Water, all them drainage coming down and water condition, make it more slippery.
The department says the residents' problems will now be prioritized, but more so, the residents will also be given an idea of when the works will begin, so they'll have some level of comfort and predictability.
I hope that this, not just only today, it will continue.
The department has also committed to maintaining the empty lots at the various housing developments. The team is expected to head to Roxborough next month on September 7th and Adventure 1 week later on September 14th. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
Should this work like it has in other countries, then it looks good for Tobago. You see, this island sees itself as a place ripe for business and open to foreign direct investment, or FDIs as it's called, and for good reason. Last year, emerging markets were the greatest beneficiaries of FDIs. It said those economies benefited from shared best practices, enhanced employee lifestyle and a better standard of living for the country. This island knows the advantages and wants to ensure it benefits. But first, it's working on an issue that got in the way of investor confidence. Let's hear how from Kisan Brathwaite.
This island prides itself on being friendly and welcoming, and the people are often described as warm and inviting. So the perception that Tobago is anything but open to investment is a view the London-led administration takes seriously, especially in the context of legislation designed to lure business here. The Foreign Investment Act was introduced to encourage investment and to use access to land in Tobago as an incentive for those who wish to invest in this island's economy. But the Assembly found there were loopholes which were not in the interest of both Tobagonians and Trinidadians. They also believed those loopholes had the potential to negatively affect the very economy the legislation was designed to help. The THA intervened, but their interference came across badly, causing some to say the island is anti-investment. Now, Tobago has been keen to not only grow its tourism sector, but to diversify its economy. Its drive to woo investors is supported by precedents in other countries, which shows there are no losers when using the foreign direct investment model. Therefore, the anti-investor tag isn't one this island wants attached to its brand. So Tobago and the THA are finding ways to change this, to deal with the whole process of the allocation of license and attracting investment in designated development areas. That task had been handed to a committee comprising of representatives from some of this island's major stakeholders, the Tobago arm of the Chamber of Commerce and the Trinidad and Tobago Hotel and Tourism Association. The key players were given a deadline of 14 days to report and make recommendations. The Chief Secretary says that report is now in and has been sent to the Ministries of Finance and Tourism, the Chamber of Commerce and Industry, and the Hospitality and Tourism Institution. He's hoping for a follow-up meeting with this same group to discuss the report and begin the implementation process. With foreign direct investment of growing importance to developing markets like Tobago, it's hoped that this report is the beginning of a process that will showcase this island as one that's open and ready for investment. I'm Kisan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
From bean to bar, it all comes from this island, and more precisely the Tobago Cocoa Estate. The estate produces what an international food and drink judge described as an incredibly smooth and rich chocolate, a chocolate that went up against hundreds of other entries and had to withstand scrutiny from over 50 judges. In the end, brand Tobago won. Let's find out why by visiting the estate where it all begins.
Cadbury and Hershey's are worldwide brands known for chocolate, but cocoa from this estate right here in Roxborough is also making its mark internationally. From this to that, and Tobago did it not once, not twice, but 3 times, being awarded the Great Taste Gold Award by the London Guild of Fine Foods. For 2013, Tobago Cocoa Estate, operated by Dwayne Dove, won 2 gold stars on the same award. The chocolate is described by the judges as having a nice snap and sheen and being incredibly smooth and rich with no bitterness.
The team feels very elated because it's a hallmark of excellence and a recognition of all the hard work that has gone into this project over the years. And it's sort of, it really serves to inspire the team to meet the challenges that they face each year in trying to make this thing work.
So Tobago Cocoa Estate is the cream of the crop in its field, as the competition is among the finest chocolate companies around the world.
I've just finished an extensive walkthrough of the estate, and I must say it's all about doing things correctly and doing things good the first time. I mean, this estate was started with a vision, with a plan surrounding that vision. The execution of that plan followed various steps. There's a schedule in terms of the agronomic activities that are done on the estate. Careful attention is paid to how the beans are harvested, how they are processed, how they are dried, etc.
The company prides itself on its high quality and is striving to maintain its standards, but Dr. Suka says there are challenges that must be dealt with.
we are losing close to half of the yield from the trees due to pest damage. This is parrots, and I've just walked through the estate, squirrel damage.
Once those are solved, Tobago can become world famous for its cocoa. Well, at least cocoa from the Tobago Cocoa Estate. For its part, the Department of Agriculture facilitates and provides assistance to cocoa farmers to help with this island's quest. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
We're taking a break, but stay with us. On the other side, we'll tell you why a team from the U.S. is seeking out the spiritual Baptist churches on this island. Welcome back to Let's Talk Tobago. We're at Fort Grandby on the Windward Coast. It has 2 gazebos and a play park for the young ones. The headland is covered with black Jesse trees which provide shady spots and makes it a great option for family outings, picnics, or maybe a place just to enjoy some alone time. But let's leave it here and journey to Calder Hall to take a look at how a little goes a long way. It's the story of 15 deserving groups and individuals who've all been working on improving themselves and this island. One is showcasing Tobago as far away as India, while others continue to work at home, always looking for another opportunity to enhance what exists. Their selflessness has been awarded with what can be described as a financial nudge.
Construction, education, or events. Whatever the nature of the need, the Tobago House of Assembly has set out to assist community NGOs and individuals with their programs, plans, and initiatives. The organizations and persons seen here are just some of those who've been identified as making a positive impact on society.
I am extremely elated, and I must say thanks to the Office of the Chief Secretary for this significant contribution, because it will help a long way, and this contribution is toward a youth development of Tobago, Trinidad, and beyond.
Almost $100,000 has been given to these 15 persons. Yulin Charles of the St. Francis Anglican Church says the contribution will improve the membership experience.
It would help us in what we are going to do, which is to refurbish the benches in the church, which will help the senior citizens especially to sit more comfortable.
Sita Bipath isn't here today. Her mother accepted the financial assistance from the THA on her behalf because Sita is halfway around the world, New Delhi, India to be exact, studying dance. Today's contribution to her studies will therefore go a long way. For this, her mother Pulwati says she's grateful.
From the first year she started, she got assistance from the Division of Education. Then she got assistance from the Financial Assistance Unit. And today I want to thank the Chief Secretary for giving her this contribution.
The Office of the Chief Secretary says there has been increased demand for help from the THA fund set up to assist worthy Tobagonians, promising that the Assembly is trying to meet every need as generously as possible. He says they will also continue to monitor the individuals and organizations to see how the money is spent. I'm Kisan Brathwaite for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's been a landmark and the fixed place of business for 40 tenants and their customers. The NIB Mall has existed on this island for just about 3 decades, but the place as we know it will have to make way for a new one. Today, as Crystal George tells us, the architects have been mandated to ensure the new features are in keeping with the transformation Scarborough is undergoing.
Soon to be no more. This NIB building has been standing here for 30 years. but it will have to be demolished because the experts say it's no longer structurally sound and that it poses a serious threat to life and limb. They have advised against its continued use, forcing the tenants to move shop. The plan now in place is to tear this down and construct a new building, one that complements Tobago as a tourism destination, is in sync with the look and feel of the esplanade, and one which provides adequate parking. Put another way, the new NIB building must be in keeping with the Scarborough Beautification Plan, a plan that's designed to give the island's capital a facelift, turning it into a beautiful, attractive town. But the Tobago House of Assembly also wants NIB management to ensure that when the new building is completed, the previous tenants will get favorable treatment and small businesses will not be forced out. The Assembly has acted as a mediator of sorts between the tenants and the management, intervening when these two parties disagree on the way forward. I'm Crystal George for Let's Talk Tobago.
Post-independence, the region wanted to celebrate its rich culture and heritage. The authors of the Caribbean Festival of Arts, or what's known as CARIFESTA, wanted an avenue to bring the people of CARICOM together to showcase their collective talent. Today, this legacy lives on, and CARIFESTA XI will see country delegations converging on Suriname. Trinidad and Tobago will be represented at the festival, but as Davia Chambers tells us, this island's contingent is planning to leave its mark on the rest of the region and the world.
It's a Caribbean fiesta, a place to see the best dances, theatre and music, and anything vaguely related to the arts, and 100 persons from this country will fly Trinidad and Tobago's flag, but this island in particular has a bit extra to offer.
The time has come for us to claim our space on the international stage, and we consider this a golden opportunity to be able to promote the Tobago product, to invest in human development for our social capital. We further see this as an opportunity to link with all our Caribbean brothers and sisters out there, and with the view to a massive avalanche of people coming into Tobago to express, share, unearth, and to really enjoy what Tobago has to offer.
The team of 38 persons has been tasked with this goal, using traditional drumming and other acts indigenous to Tobago.
We sought to do presentations that will embrace elements of the famous Tobago Mariah wedding, because we believe that as we show innovation, we could show the balance between what we would have had then and where we have come from. So the Mariah wedding is slated. We have our beautiful Tobago traditional dances, the famous Congo Belly, the Tobago jig.
And Suriname and the region will also get a chance to see elements of the Tobago Heritage Festival.
Tobago's tradition and the legacy that we have as our heritage and our indigenous heritage is what makes us unique. The fact that we continue to unearth and celebrate by way of our tradition, the dances, and which is visible in the costuming and the choreography, and what we portray as heritage, but is only limited to the people who are either able to get an excerpt from a television clipping or something they might have seen. We are able to transport this in living color, in very practical means to thousands of people.
CARIFESTA XI will be a chance for Team Tobago to sell this island to the 30 countries expected to be represented at the festival, and by extension the rest of the world. The contingent leaves for Suriname on August 18th and returns 1 week later on the 25th. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
It's time to take another break, but coming up, the benefits of teaching the national instrument to our students.
CIT Tobago, ready to provide your community with the highest degree of professional services in emergency response. Contact CIT Mariah at 660-0065 or CIT Speyside at 660-6096. CIT 24-hour services, emergencies, medical or other. CIT Pro, the new face of emergency management.
You're viewing Let's Talk Tobago. Thanks for joining us at Fort Grandby, a location that's known for its dark, sandy coastline, relaxing sea breeze, and a breathtaking view of the Caribbean Sea. And speaking of the sea, the group we're about to introduce you to made a trip across the seas to get advice from the Office of the Chief Secretary. They're on a mission to take the spiritual Baptist faith to the world. And part of that journey has brought them to this island to seek the help of the churches based here. Lois Vincent explains.
The international body of the Spiritual Baptist Churches sent a contingent to this island to expand its membership by incorporating the various Spiritual Baptist churches into the organization. The group, led by Tobago-born Secretary General of the Spiritual Baptist Faith Worldwide, Carlton Calendar, says they met with the Chief Secretary over London to discuss the ways the church could contribute to the development of Tobago.
In Trinidad and Tobago is to ratify the Constitution, institute the government of the church. Secondly, take the database of the various players in the church and seek to register the church in the International Registry of Religious Faith in The Hague.
Local representative of the Spiritual Baptist Faith Worldwide, Bishop Muriel Dillon, says his church is on board with a vision to unite the local Spiritual Baptist churches. He says he intends to do what's necessary to fulfill that goal.
Get as much as possible churches involved, knowing the vision of the Spiritual Baptist faith, understanding the vision, and taking the necessary steps like running different seminars and things like that to educate the Spiritual Baptists more so that we can be more visible in our space.
There are scores of Spiritual Baptist churches all across Tobago, and these numbers will help to raise the international profile of this indigenous religion. I'm Lois Vincent for Let's Talk Tobago.
Studies have shown that music plays an integral part in the learning process. It's why some educators encourage students to take it up full-time or as an extracurricular activity. They believe it improves academic performance and teaches discipline and other life skills. Well, if that has any merit, this island has just helped 200 young people who participated in a pan camp for over 15 days.
Even though it's cliché, it could not be more true. Children are the future, and that's why they should be taught to lead the way in every aspect of life. It's no different when it comes to pan.
I see a big future of pan. This is right in front of me, facing us here now with the little kids, because they're the future.
He says it is of great importance to continuously promote the national instrument, especially to children.
And I always love to play for children and love to be around children because they are the future pan players. And what I see in Tobago, since my second year coming here, I see the influx of a little children playing pan here. To me, like more than Trinidad.
It seems that the budding pan players already gained a passion for the national instrument and are ready to make their mark in the pan world.
I wanted to learn how to play different songs, and I love the instrument. It just, like if you have stress in your mind, it just helps you to forget about all of that and stuff.
The years began going it and it was good.
And there's no problem for the students to continue in the field as the Tobago House of Assembly has committed itself to the Pan in Schools project.
After this, it's back to the schools with Pan. We're trying to enable every school to ensure that every school has a full complement of steel pans. Right, so from here, it doesn't stop. Back to the schools, give them a little break in the August, and back to the schools where the pan is being taught.
The students who participated will all receive a certificate of merit. I'm Davia Chambers for Let's Talk Tobago.
And it's time to have Your Say, the segment of our program where we hear from you, our viewers. As you might be aware, the Tobago House of Assembly has embarked on a series of meetings aimed at talking directly to you. No go-betweens and middlemen, just you and your representative. It's a promise the Chief Secretary made after the January landslide victory. He says it's a chance for the people of Tobago to join the conversation and make their voices heard. So today we're asking, do you believe it's important for the Assembly to communicate with the public via their monthly face-to-face meetings? This is what you said.
many a times that they are up there and doesn't have the information from the grassroots people. So I think it's important for them to go to the communities to hear what the people in the community have to say.
I believe there is a certain way that the people are supposed to be able to communicate with these people, and if we don't come together in that certain way, that the building of Tobago will not be right.
Waste of time. Everybody make nice by saying I want to see me tell me walk through Belgium and Goodwood once a month.
For people to say their views and exchange ideas what going on in the community and so forth.
At least to get an understanding of what the people in the community want to know or like to know, and get a feedback on what's going on in the community. So I think that's a wonderful idea.
In Tobago, it's a small community, you understand? And I mean, the idea everybody comes now, you understand? So I think personally it's a good idea.
And that's how we bring this week's edition of Let's Talk Tobago to a close. Do remember you can send us your comments to information@tha.gov.tt or visit us at www.tha.gov.tt. Like us on Facebook and add us to your YouTube playlist. I'm Colleen Holder, and on behalf of all of us at the Department of Information, have a safe and enjoyable week. And as we go, we leave you now with some more scenes of the beautiful Fort Grandby.